ever experienced any type of mental abuse, physical abuse, or verbal abuse in any relationship? And if so, give me a story. Like tell me one of the situations. Go with the worst thing that may have happened for you. Mhm.
And I didn't know, it was, abuse. Well, I knew it was abuse, but not seeing what healthy relationships is, then,
Mhm.
I did I stayed. And then as I got older, 12th grade year, it was like, this can't be right or whatever. So after that, I started fighting back. And
So
when I
what
say
type of
fight back,
abuse? What type of
he
abuse
was
was he giving you?
he was physically abusive, he was mentally abusive, and he was verbally abusive.
Okay, so with the physical abuse aspect, what was he like? What did he do to you? Like,
He would punch me, he would choke me.
ooh, ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now that the good young sir is done brushing his teeth, I will interject for a minute. Um, so now I don't know if this is a planned segment, if um, he just so happened to be live and then said, "Hey, if anybody wants to tell their story, hop on." I'm unsure to any of that. I'm unsure if there was a conversation prior to this to say, today I'm going live to talk about this, or today we're giving women the opportunity to tell their story. I'm unsure if any of that happened. Alls I know is that once this young lady hopped on to tell her story, the fact is he remains shirtless. He remains preoccupied. He's brushing his teeth. He's gargling. He's interrupting her to ask sensitive questions in just the nonchalant way. Oh, what type of abuse was it? And just prying and asking her to go deeper, but in such an insincere way. Quite frankly, this whole thing, whatever this thing may be, just seems very disingenuous. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to skip around the next part because she talks about some of the previous abuse, including the sexual assault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing this wasn't his first time. So yeah, he did it, so it wasn't seen. And one time, like he tried times, like when I
Oh
didn't
wow.
want to have sex. So that was that. We were going through some stuff, and I told him no, that I didn't feel like having sex and I didn't want to have sex. And he proceeded to try to take it. And at this point, I'm ground and holding me
I'll be
down on the
right
ground,
back.
choking me. And
Yeah.
it was some glasses on my counter, so I picked up the glasses and I hit him with.
Something as your husband, why would you not want to satisfy your partner? Like I know it probably
Okay.
was something y'all probably had argued and you was in your feelings.
Okay, so when he asked her why was she not willing to satisfy her partner, I was just looking at my phone like, excuse me? There's oftentimes this thought that because we are married, now she explains that this is with her ex husband. So she was married. And a lot of times there's this thought that, well, had you just given him or her what she wanted, the abuse would not have happened. Um, and even with intimate partner abuse or assault, it's the same thing. Like, well, if you don't want me to cheat on you, then you're gonna do this when I want it, how I want it. That is a form of manipulation. Safe sex means that we are creating a space and an environment where both partners can do, express, and explore themselves without being persecuted, forced, or manipulated into doing something that they're not 100% comfortable with doing. Plain and simple. There shouldn't be any questions on, well, why didn't you or why did you? Because there's a huge likelihood the victim is already beating themselves up over why they did or didn't do something, why they did or didn't allow something to happen. What I don't want to happen is that we ignore the fact that black men and black women are dying at an alarming rate from their own spouse, from their partners, because of anger, hate, jealousy, because of this feeling or thought of possession over someone. Let's not forget that. I don't want us to forget or brush past that. Even his wording of, okay, well, why didn't you want to please your spouse? Even after that, he goes on to say, because I know y'all probably was arguing and you was in your feelings. No, we're not going to do that. There are people who are married to real life monsters who are getting the crap beat out of them, who are being manipulated and abused mentally, physically, emotionally. And the sexual abuse is horrific. So let's not trivialize the fact that sexual abuse within marriages, between spouses, between intimate partners, isn't something grander than what it is. And even if there was a disagreement and now I'm in my feelings, what part of that means force yourself on me? So, especially since he has the domestic abuse awareness title and tag within the video, I guess I just expected more grace, more sincerity. I guess I was expecting him to be more of a hero and to extend more words of encouragement and strength to his community of followers. That's what I was expecting. This will forever, I know I done said it so many times and I will continue to say it. Domestic violence within the black community is a horrible beast that we do not talk about. It's something that we don't tackle. We do not get the same resources and attention that other races get. And it is because there's a normalcy about it within our community. It's because when it's talked about like so, like in this situation, we downplay it or we make it seem like it's a simple fix of, oh, just please your spouse and give them what they want. And that's not the case at all. Now, from people like me who have suffered and survived domestic violence and have survived certain traumas and certain abuse, this is an everyday struggle for us. Even if we're out of it, I have not been in an abusive relationship in years and I still have PTSD. So, what we're not going to do is pretend like this isn't an everyday struggle. We're not going to pretend like domestic violence within the black community is not crippling us, is not killing black men and women at an exponential rate at the hands of their partner because they are afraid to seek help. They're making it more difficult for other victims to speak, male and female, men and women, because it's genderless. It goes both ways. Men absolutely can be abused. Men can absolutely be in toxic relationships with toxic women. So today's takeaway, I want to be that if you are having a conversation with somebody who is courageous enough to be vulnerable and express themselves and share some of their darker days, to talk about the trauma that they have endured and how they are now healing and still in the process of healing, be kind, extend them grace, and open up a space for them to share those stories because that helps other people. I would also like those who are in these relationships, who know somebody in these relationships, reach out for help and support. That is no way of life. That is not a healthy way of life. There is better out there. There is happiness out there.